Hello, guys. Welcome back to Callyalater Podcast, Episode 9. My name is John.
And I'm Kelly. I'm so excited. This is our 9th episode. We're going to be talking
9.
all about emojis.
Mm-hmm.
I talked John into doing this one.
Mm-hmm. She's appropriately dressed for the day.
Yeah, I did wear this yellow dress because emojis are mostly yellow.
Yes.
Or at least they used to be. Now there's a ton of different colors.
There's a variety of different colors.
I figured the yellow dress was fitting.
Very fitting.
A nice yellow aesthetic.
Yes.
It's kind of gloomy here too, so I want it to be a little ball of sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to talk all about emojis. We're going to talk about when to use them and when not to use them, our favorite emojis, and the most bold emojis. Whew, hot. I'm totally kidding. Anyways, last week we talked all about the importance of communication in a relationship. Honestly, I thought that was one of my favorite episodes.
It was definitely one of mine too.
It was a really good one. I rewatched
it
it earlier this week, so you guys should definitely check it out. It's a good one. I liked it.
It's very good.
We kind of got in depth.
Very in depth. It was one of our most in depth. It might have been our most in depth episode yet.
I just think they could get deeper.
They really could.
This is just the beginning.
And we answered some of your questions.
Oh, yeah,
so if you want
yeah.
to see if your question was answered, go check out the episode.
Yeah, because we are on Instagram. We asked you guys questions and we answered them in that episode. So you should definitely go check it out if you haven't. If you did ask questions, you should just go check it out in general. But okay, let's get started. So our topic is emojis in text messaging.
Yes.
And I guess I'll be the disclaimer this week.
Okay.
It depends on the person and what it's used for.
Definitely, because I know people that do not use a single emoji, and then I try to use it with them, and they respond with none, and it's kind of awkward.
It's kind of like you just have to you'll just know.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just know. You know what I mean?
Oftentimes with the first text that is exchanged, you will know.
I would say the first 5 text.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So, how to tell when to use emojis and when not to. So, do you want to start with when to use them and then go into when not to?
Yeah, so I didn't necessarily divide mine into 2 categories. I kind of just wrote down 5 different tips.
Okay.
So I'll just start with gauge how the other person is using them.
Oh,
and
definitely.
use them back. You can always start with using just a couple. If you use a lot of emojis, it's okay to turn it down a little bit.
Definitely. I think you have to build, if you're just starting texting someone, you have to build the emoji use.
It's
with them.
You have to gradually
you
work
have to,
into
break
it.
Into
you have to dip your toes into the water before you dive head first.
Yes.
You
don't want to make a big splash yet.
Exactly.
Def.
You just have to be careful with how many you use and when, because they can be overpowering. If you're using an emoji every other word, which I've had people in the past that have talked to me like that. And
you're giving me the look.
I'm not targeting you. No. They're just people that use way too many, and it's just
or if you start writing your sentence with emojis.
If you start a sentence with an emoji,
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
You don't start. Typically, you don't.
I try to tone it down.
But no, because you use emojis, but it's not
it's subtle.
Exactly.
Well, not subtle, but it's not super annoying.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
I like to think when I use emojis, it's that because I feel like text messaging can be so hard because you don't know the person's facial expressions, the tone of voice with it. I love a FaceTime call or calling on the phone because you can hear their tone, you can see their expression. With texting, you could say oh my gosh, did you see this? And it could mean so many different things based on how they imply it. So when you use an emoji, I think if you put a smiley face, it's a happy tone. It just kind of gives them, whoever's reading the text, a little insight of what
that's actually,
is.
That is something I wrote down. It said emotions can often be lost in text.
Yeah.
So use emojis to spice up and show what you mean.
Okay, but those are good. Do you have any more?
So every emoji has a different meaning.
Definitely.
And every one has a different meaning to the different emojis, because you and I have had problems like that before where I'll send you a text and you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, sometimes he'll send me a text and it'll have an emoji that we don't really you know how you kind of get you use certain emojis with certain people, and he sent a random one that we never really use, and I was like, I couldn't tell. I think
she thought I was being super. It was the upside down smiley face.
Yeah, so
and she thought I was being super sarcastic.
As a sarcastic smile, kind of like when you type out the colon with the parenthesis, with the little nose and make it really long. It's kind of like a sarcastic smiley.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I thought, and I was like, I didn't know this was a sarcastic conversation, and it wasn't. What did you end up thinking that one was?
I just thought it was kind of like a more ironic smirk.
Okay.
You know, 'cause I'm pretty sure I asked her like, "Did you still want to hang out tonight?" and put that behind it, just because I had like in the same text I had used almost all the other smiley faces.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to be an emoji repeater, so I'm just gonna put an upside down smiley face.
An emoji repeater.
I don't like to repeat emojis personally. I like to. Do you repeat emojis? I guess I don't really notice. You do?
I think I do.
Okay, I don't.
But I use like the same like 3 emojis most of the time.
See, I'll use them in different text, but
Okay.
in the same text, I don't like to repeat emoji in the same text.
I guess I kind of feel that way. If I start repeating them, I just stop using emojis.
Yeah, like I don't want to put the same smiley face 4 times in a longer message because
Yeah.
it just feels a little repetitive at that
I
point.
feel that.
So I'll use like the one that has no teeth, one that has teeth, one with the sealed lips, you know.
Getting the inside scoop right now.
Oh yeah,
of
my
John's
texting lifestyle. Oh yeah. So yeah, those were kind of my 5 different categories, and then just obviously we'll talk about this one later with the most bold emojis. But be careful with risky emojis; they can get, especially when you're talking with someone that you like, because it can get you pinned into a corner that you don't want to be in.
Just a little bit.
So I guess those are all my uses and when not to uses. Just not broken into categories.
Nice.
Thanks.
Okay.
So what about you?
So I did it into categories. I guess that's just how my brain works, like the use and not to use.
I'm pretty sure I just did it wrong.
No, I think you did it fine. You answered it.
Fair enough, I did answer.
You did. There's no wrong way to do this. It's our podcast.
Exactly.
So for using it, I said keep the conversation light. I think that's a great way to keep an upbeat swing on any conversation is throw a smiley face in there. Like sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, like even school related emails or business emails, I'll end it with like a thanks with a little smiley face. It's not the most professional thing to do, granted, that's in one of my when not to use, but sometimes it just makes like a boring conversation kind of light and airy.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on who you're talking to, but it does keep the conversation light. You know when to use them, whether you know the person. Like if they're friends and family, go ahead, throw them in there. Again, it goes back to when not to use in like professional, business, work-related, school-related stuff.
Definitely.
It kind of, you have to like, if you are sending it with school-related or business-related, like if they're your coworkers or, you know, you have a closer relationship with your boss or like your professor and stuff, I think it's fine to throw it in. You just don't want to use those bold emojis or like weird ones. I keep it simple with just a simple smiley face.
Don't use the eggplant.
Yes. Also, so you mentioned it, so your emotion can be shown within the text. I think it can get lost very easily, so having an emoji in there kind of helps so it doesn't sound like, if you have like, I don't know, sometimes text messages can sound very passive aggressive. I feel
they really can, because it's so, a lot of them are unintentionally blunt.
Yes,
and
because that's just when you text it,
it's
that's
just
how you say
is.
it. But if you like say, like you could literally read the same text message 5 different ways in 5 different tones and be like, I'm so confused which one it is.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think having the emoji really helps with that. And then for not using them, again, business, professional, work related. And then during super serious conversations, sometimes I don't like to throw them in. Like it does lighten the mood, but at the same time, I feel like it makes it less serious.
Yeah.
But then granted, last week we talked all about not having super serious conversations via text.
So
it just kind of goes back and forth. And again, every situation is so different. And then don't use too many emojis. So I wrote in here, ask John how many emojis I use per text.
Let's just pull up the old. Let's pull up the old phone
okay,
here.
Let's see what we got.
Okay, so
that
here's
one,
and
nice.
there's 4 emojis in one text.
You have 4.
3
though.
emojis in one text.
So like
2.
when me and John text, like he'll send a certain amount of emojis and I balance it back. But I think
Exactly.
it's actually the opposite way, because like I think I make you send them.
I send a lot more emojis just in general now when I text with everyone.
Yeah.
But I've definitely stepped it up with you. Like I send a lot when I text you. I would say on average we both average 4 to 6 per text when we're texting each other.
And we have pretty kind of lengthy text messages.
Yeah.
But like I just feel so weird when I get a text message, especially like from you or like my family, and there's no emoji behind it. If they're usually using emojis, I'm like, something's up.
It's a good indicator, depending.
Exactly.
It really is.
I think it's a great way to use it too. Like sometimes, my phone. Sometimes it's like I'll be like not in the best mood, and when I don't use emojis, like I don't do this intentionally, but like I just won't be in the mood to use emojis, and then people can kind of be like, "Oh, is something wrong?" You know, as
I've done that
weird
before
as
with
it
you.
is.
Yeah, when you haven't
But
used
it's
emojis,
like
I've sent you a text like, "Is everything okay?"
Okay. Yeah. So those are my use and not to use. So top 3 emojis and why. Let's hear John's first.
Okay, so my number one is it's different on both of our phones.
Yeah. He has an Android.
I have an Android. She has an iPhone, so it's a little different. But for mine, there's like it's the little blushing emoji, but there's 2 different ones.
Yeah, it's like the super blushy.
It's the super blushy one. On Android, the mouth is open a little bit, so it looks like almost like a little like Japanese style character. It's so cute.
It is really cute, and it's like so cheery and happy. Again, it really makes the tone of the text message happy.
So what's your number one?
The heart eye emojis.
Heart eyes,
I use the heart eye emoji. It's my number 1 used emoji.
You even did a digital design project with the
one of our
heart emoji project.
Art projects. We had to like do an Illustrator project, and I made it say heart eyes in the heart eyes.
It was so cute. It was a very cute project.
Okay, what's your second one?
All right, so my second one is the squinted closed eyes with the tongue out. I would try to replicate it, but I don't want to make a total fool of myself. But I'm pretty sure on YouTube we'll be putting up images of it. So if you guys want to, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go check us out on YouTube and you can see the actual emojis.
I always think of that one as like a really old school one when people would do like would it be the V's?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Like when you type it out before like emojis. When you would like type it out with the symbols. It was like the V's and then like the little big tongue or like the big key or something.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely my number 2. I use that one a lot. It's just a kind of a funny, lighthearted emoji.
It really is. It's just like a cheerful, it's kind of, I like to use that one after the laughing emoji.
Yeah.
My second one, I can't have it on my computer because I didn't update it yet, but it's the puppy dog, the little emoji just with like puppy dog eyes. It's so sad.
And there's so many uses for it.
But like at the same time, it's like so cute and it's just like, did you really just say that? And you put the little puppy dog eyes or like, or if you're sad, you can use it. But you can use it when you're happy too.
Absolutely.
I just think it's so cute. Like, it just hits me in the feels every time I see it. It's so adorable.
We use it both. We both use it quite often.
We do. Okay, and your third one?
The hands up, Okay, like
kind of like the...
It's like the praying one.
Yeah, it's not praying,
but it's like
kind
celebratory.
Of like, yeah, it's like, yay, I can... Like, I accomplished that or something. Yeah. Okay. Why do you like that one?
I don't know. It's just like I was going through like my most used and I was thinking like yep, and I had to narrow it down and I was gonna put the puppy dog eyes one, but you beat me to it, so I picked this one as an honorable mention. I just use that one a lot, like after like if we get something done or accomplish something or like I just throw that one up there.
My third one is the pink heart with the little sparkles on it.
Okay, nice.
I have like a whole series of how you rate the hearts, and this one is like the top tier heart to use.
She has a scale. It's quite serious.
Like you have to earn the pink heart one. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to go into our most bold emojis.
Ooh.
I'll start us off.
Okay.
So I've sounded very eager there. The first one I like to use is the little purple, like, smiling devil-y type emoji. I feel like it's really cute, but it's kind of, like, mischievous.
Scandalous.
Yeah. Deaf. Yours happens to be purple, too.
Mine does happen to be purple, but it's not a face. Mine's an eggplant. For most bold emoji, no more explanation needed. What's your number 2?
Just for the record, John has never sent me that emoji. My second one is the winky face.
Okay.
It's super simple. It's kind of like bold, but not bold. Like you can use it multiple different ways. But a winky face is a winky face. Mm-hmm. Next one.
So for me, it's the smirk.
Ooh,
it's the
like
classic. It's the classic.
I think honestly, I use the smirk and the winky face a lot.
Me too. It's a nice shot shooter with
really
the smirk.
It is. Like it just kind of gets the point across. But you can also use like if I'm asking like my girlfriends like how'd last night go or like how was your first date? Like you can just send the smirk and you know.
It's tea time.
It's tea time. And then my third one is a combination because I was kind of like, we kind of hit the main ones that I use. And it's like the little tongue out, like he's kind of like drooling or like a hungry little dog with the little water droplets.
We all know what that means.
Yeah.
And then my third one was the peach. Again, no explanation needed. What's up on the, what's next on the list?
Okay. So, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, stay tuned because we're going to add a new video on Thursday. So, it's our first YouTube content. I'm really, like, besides the podcast, we're both really excited about that. Yeah. And if you're listening on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere else, go check out our YouTube channel. We're going to start adding YouTube videos. We're on summer vacation now, like summer break, so we have a little bit more free time. It's going to be fun.
It's time.
Yeah. What's our video going to be about?
So it's going to be about discussing the different emojis and what they mean, and then how we use them. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to go through all of our top emojis that we both personally use.
I'm like low-key really embarrassed on my recent emojis right now, so this will be interesting.
Exactly. So it's going to be fun. So we're just going to go through and discuss the different emojis because every emoji is different for everyone. Everyone's definition of every emoji is a little different.
And again, I kind of think it'll be fun to get that guy's opinion and the girl's opinion on them.
So make sure you guys check that out on Thursday.
And subscribe.
We're
really close to like 30 subscribers
now,
which
we're
is
climbing.
Exciting. So definitely subscribe. Oh, I have some questions too.
Okay.
Emoji-related questions. I was like really excited for this episode. I love emojis. Okay, John. Favorite emoji I send you and why?
Well, it's got to be the pink heart.
Okay, John.
I've earned it.
John has earned the pink heart.
I've earned the pink heart, so it has to be the pink heart.
Okay.
Other than that, your puppy dog eyes are pretty cute.
The puppy dog eyes are cute. Okay.
And then, if I had to give a number 3, probably your little halo emoji. You use that one a lot.
One. I think that's like my second emoji. I'm surprised I didn't even put that on here. It'd probably be number 4.
Yeah.
I think it's just so cute. It's like a little angel asking a question. Okay. Weirdest emoji.
Wait, actually, what's your favorite emojis I've sent you?
I like the one that's like, it's like a little smiley face, but then it has all the little hearts around it.
Okay.
What other emojis do you send me often? And I also really think, the ones where like it's like a lopsided, winky, tongue out one's just really funny.
Okay.
And it's like always like a really lighthearted conversation when you use that one. Okay. Then the second question is weirdest emoji.
Weirdest emoji. See, that one was tough. You told me that you had prepared me for this when we were writing the
and
script
you're not
for this
ready
episode.
now.
But I'm not ready.
Okay.
But there are quite a few weird emojis.
There are a lot. I'll tell you my weird one first. I'm gonna have to go with okay, it's like after if you're on iPhone, it's like after the smiley faces, and there's just like the little alien, the clown. Like I get the use of them, but they just kind of weird me out a little bit.
Okay, those are weird.
Yeah.
So for me, there's one that I just found. It's just like a hole.
It
looks like it's golf. A hole in the ground. Is it for golf? Because it just seems. All I know is that I once created a meme out of it where it looked like a dude was shooting his shot into the hole with a basketball. So that's the only time I've ever had a usage for that. It just feels like a very useless, weird emoji that doesn't really...
I feel like I'm going to age myself by saying this, but when the emojis first came out and there wasn't as many to choose from, that was just a simpler time in life. Now there's so many different choices and you get to like pick the colors of all the people and stuff, which is so cool. But at the same time, there's just so many possibilities of what emojis, and I get overwhelmed by all the choices.
And then sometimes it's weird, like if someone sends you a text with emoji that you've never seen, and you're like,
is this in there frequently? Yeah, like it just makes you question. You're like, oh, okay. And then my last question, do you have any funny emoji related stories?
So I have the basketball shot shooting one.
Okay.
So that's honestly probably my funniest one, but I know that you had a pretty funny one that you wanted to tell. So let's hear it.
All right. So I think it was like a year or two ago, and I was buying something at Apple. I think I was buying my laptop, and the guy was helping me set it up, and he was probably like a good amount, like a few years older than me, like definitely like not in my age range, but like still it was like an older boy, you know. I was just kind of like, okay, thanks for helping me. And John's judging me. But anyways, so this guy is helping me set up my new laptop, and he's like, here, let's get your iMessage set up so you can text off your computer and your phone, which I was like, okay, this is so cool. Like I have it on my desktop, but I can't figure out how to get it to work. And he helps me set it up, and all my messages pop up, which, you know, thankfully wasn't too embarrassing. But then I'm one of those people, again, I love emojis, that I put emojis after every contact name. Like not just one emoji. It's like 5 emojis.
I think I have 7 emojis after my name.
It just helps me, like, I don't know, I put emoji, like I associate emojis with people. And he looks at me and he kind of like chuckles a little bit, but he continues working, and then he's like, I've just never seen so many emojis used before. And I was just like, oh, yeah. Like, I don't know if I should have taken that as an insult or a compliment.
I think it was a compliment.
But I just laughed it off and took it as a compliment.
Because aren't some people on your phone just named emojis? Like no name, just emojis.
It makes it like less I'm just gonna leave it on that. Anyways, that was my funny emoji story. I
That was
totally
pretty
got
funny.
judged at the Apple Store for having emojis after everyone's name. But you guys should definitely follow us on our social medias.
Yes, absolutely. Call You Later Podcast on Instagram and Call You Later Pod on Twitter. Both of our personals are linked in the bio on both of them, I believe.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
And then hashtag Tweet You Later. If you
Yes.
want to ask us questions, talk to us. You can also DM us on Instagram.
And I did link our personals in the YouTube description box as well. So the
go check us
description
out.
box has been updated.
And if you are on Apple Podcast, if you would like, leave us a review.
Yes, we have one review right now.
We do have one
We
review.
should read it.
We should read it. Let's read
I
it.
just downloaded the Apple Podcast app, so I'm really excited about this. Oh my goodness. Let me click on it. I probably should have been a little bit more prepared for this. And someone, Anna, commented, so good. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Very exciting.
We appreciate that.
So thank you. And again, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, anyone that you think would like our podcast. And next week, we're going to be talking all about, it's our 10th episode, so we're going to be talking all about what we learned from creating the podcast, our favorite things. We're just going to be talking about the podcast.
We're hitting double digits.
It's so crazy. Like, this was a huge milestone for us because it was
really
10
was.
weeks of the podcast.
10 weeks of the podcast.
Next week. So that's exciting. So I guess that wraps up this episode.
Yeah, that is all we have.
Okay. Call you later.
Call you later.
Bye.